Hi again, peeps. Deadbug Davey here. Today I'm going to be riding the Yamaha mt09 SP, which I'm on at the moment, and I'm going to be taking it back to the shop. Brian Gray's, no pun intended, it's already on there. I'm going to be going back and riding the standard SP. Kind of doing it, no sorry, the standard 09. I'm doing it the wrong way. I would have preferred to have ridden the standard one and then come back to ride the SP, but unfortunately someone's taking it out for a test ride in the next couple of hours, and they're going to love it. I've only ridden it just 5 minutes down the road. It is a cracking bike. This engine, it's one of those engines that it's hard to explain, but they are so creamy, so smooth. They're really, really nice, torquey triples. Yamaha, kind of on a road here, not really an ideal place to stop and do this sort of thing, but there you go. Yamaha really hit the nail on the head with the engine, because it's a real screamer, and it's got a lovely creamy delivery, and you can very easily just, same as always, just be in 5th gear and doing 30. It's not a problem. The quick shifter works an absolute dream. Yeah, it's really nice. Anyway, quick walk around. As you can see with the SP version, you get different paintwork, you get different upgraded front suspension, upgraded rear suspension, and the dash is different. It's kind of inverted. Instead of it being black on white, it's white on black. The one thing at first that I don't like about it is that I don't actually like the remote reservoir adjuster, which I understand why it's there, but I don't know, it just kind of looks, the way I described it in the shop, it looks like a Call of Duty gun mount that's just been stuck on after you spent a certain amount of money on them. And I still don't like these switch gears. The switch gear is very small. I prefer the ones on the Tracer and the MT10. But of course I understand they're keeping things very minimalistic, so that's why they've done that. So that's good. Anyway, and also I'm still not sold on these license plate hangers. I'm just not. Don't know why. I've already popped the seat up. You have to undo it. There's like a little flap under there. That's where the keyhole is. So underneath, hold up. Oh no, your tools would go in there. I was going to say you might have a little bit of storage, but no, sorry, tools are in there. So you ain't getting much in there. More than on the MT07, probably, just. Not by much, but probably a little bit more. Is that on? I don't know if that's on. It feels like it's on. Okay. Quick walk round, and then I'm going to stop and we'll go for a ride on it. I do like the front end, like from that sort of an angle. It looks mean. I don't know. It does look kind of insect-like, kind of waspish, kind of hornet-ish. I like it. The bit just above like the headlight where the instrument cluster is, that's gonna be an insect graveyard there, isn't it? Yeah, you can just imagine everything getting caught in there. Yeah, I know you could get a screen, but I don't know, I kind of like the naked looks of it. Let's try not to get run over here. On the side, like that, it's quite nice. It's kind of, it feels kind of like a drag bike, because it feels quite long, and long and low. I don't even get the SP thing on the wheels. So yeah, it feels long and low. But anyway, let's have a look at this dash. As you can see, dash is black on white. Same as always, like the mode buttons over here, so you've got like standard A and B. So this is the original way, same as all the Yamahas, like standard is standard. A is the aggressive and B is just like rain mode. You've got like traction control 1 and 2 and turn them off. I'm not messing around with that because I don't really fancy having to pay for some bike. They're nice, fully adjustable KYB front suspension on here and an Öhlins rear shock, so yeah, that's nice. Anyway, start it as always with Yamahas at the moment, pulling this down, and that's what it sounds like. It's got a nice little, same as the MT07 I rode the other day, they sound really nice with an aftermarket system on. Sound absolutely gorgeous, but at the moment they sound nice but not. nothing special. I think Yamaha did a very nice job with the standard exhaust, hiding it away underneath. So yeah, anyway, that's that for now. I'm going to go and get down on the main road, and then I'll be back when I'm riding. Right, back on the road. Yeah, riding position is nice. It does feel very kind of super motard-ish. It's got a kind of sit up, kind of, the seat feels, it is flat, but the weird thing is, as I'm riding it, I kind of feel like it's tilted up at the back end, so it's kind of sports bike-ish, even though it's not. Yeah, it's an unusual feeling, the seating position. It feels nice, I like it. See, like now I'm in 6th and doing 50, it's fine. This sort of an engine has got torque for days and these sorts of things. I think they're all the same actually. When I had a Yamaha, I had a Tracer 09, and that was the same. You could just poodle around in any sort of gear, didn't matter. You know, you could be riding at 50 in 1st, or you could be riding at 50 in 6th, and it's still alright. It's not going to be an issue. God, the lovely weather we're having in England. So happy that I actually managed to get this week off. The beginning of the week was crap, at Easter weekend, bank holiday weekend, and that was just rubbish, so I didn't get out. It's nice to get out on bikes. This is a horrible bouncy road here. The suspension's okay actually. It is definitely on the firm side on this. I don't know what it's going to be like on the standard, but I suspect it's going to be a bit softer. This is quite harsh. This would be like a nice, you know, it's almost like a track setup. It's not as hard as a sports bike obviously, but it's definitely set up on the harder side. But of course you have to remember, like when you ride these bikes and you're riding along and you're thinking, oh, it's quite hard and it's bouncing around on this, you've got fully adjustable front suspension on the SP and fully adjustable rear, so you can dial it in. It's not a problem. If it's too hard with the Öhlins rear shock and the KYB front, you can dial it in. You know, it's not a problem. You can make it harder if you wanted to and turn it into a track weapon. It's not really an issue. You can mess around with it. It's probably best that you don't do it yourself. If you don't know what you're doing, take it to somewhere that does. That's what I would recommend anyway. I've messed around with them before, and I just always end up reverting back to normal. I always seem to mess them up, so yeah, if you do that, always take note of what you're doing and what differences you make. Right, so 30 mile an hour. Let's do my normal 30 mile an hour in 5th. Right, 30 mile an hour in 5th. This engine's just fine. It's like ticking over at 2000 RPM. You know, and it'll accelerate if I touch the throttle the tiniest little bit. It's not an issue. These would be a good see, this sort of a bike, like the mt09, I think you could have used as an everyday bike, but obviously it's not as fast, or like fast enough for like most people. They'd want something a bit faster, so they might want another bike. But with this, you could probably hit every need, because it's fast enough. It's got a nice quick shifter, and as I said, the quick shifter is very nice, very smooth. It's nice in town. It behaves. You know, when I'm riding like on some of my other bikes at 30 and 5th, or trying to do this, and they're just like going what, and they don't like it at all, some of them. But you know, these are fine, nice and easy, not stressed. But yeah, you know, cog it down a couple and then you'll be howling and enjoying yourself, going nuts on it. So I'm still unsure of the placement of that indicator, get used to it. It's all in the muscle memory. See, like that was down to 23 and it's in 4th, and it just didn't even shudder. It was fine. It was such an easy bike to ride, so compliant. Mirrors pretty much the same as every other Yamaha at the moment. They're all the same. I still think they need the extender stalks. I can't remember the name of the company, but I mentioned it in the 07 review yesterday. They do like an extender that bolts in. And it extends your mirror by about an inch, maybe a little bit more. They work lovely. And you don't see your arm at all then, you just see what's behind you. So, yeah. That's what I would do if I had this bike. I could see behind me okay, but so about 40% of the mirror is me. So, but that's pretty much the same with all these Yamaha mirrors. They'd need extending up and out. They don't extend out as in past the handlebars, it just extends them like up and out that way, like up and out. But they're still kind of in that. They might come out a little bit further, but not by much. And that makes a big difference. Well, it don't seem like I'm going to be getting out of any traffic anytime soon. While I'm stuck in a 30, can't get past that guy in front at the moment, and I've got some fucking idiot stuck up my arse in a white van. Well, not in a white van, I don't know what he's in, but yeah. Yeah, I really like it actually. It's a bit of a weird seating position. It's kind of like, as I was saying, it does feel kind of supermoto, but like your knees are up a lot higher. So your knees are kind of in a super bike sort of position. I wouldn't say super bike, but you know, they're quite bent up. Whereas the rest of the bike is kind of not. You know, you're a bit more sitting normally. Yeah. It feels a bit weird. It's comfortable though. It's just an unusual. It's the same as the engine. When I first got on the bike and I pulled out the shop, and it's on a slight incline, and I wanted to put the back brake on while I was sorting out stuff with my hands, and it was kind of like my leg was hitting the engine casing, and it does stick out quite a lot actually, the engine casing on the right hand side, but nothing unusual. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to try to get past this person and get away from these fucking white vans. Right, down into 4th, yeah? Yeah, she's got plenty of go in her. Nice bike, nice engine, very smooth, plenty of power. Good bike. Good bike. My sort of a fun naked. And I think, yeah, I'm still actually on standard as well. Suspension's good, but the sudden like bangs in the road, the sudden bumps, it is quite harsh, so it is semi-sports bike like in that respect. But yeah, like this part here is excessively bumpy, and it doesn't soak it up, it kind of bounces over it, which is fine. Yeah, good. Very good bike. Nice. I really like it. Price wise, I think the standard mt09 is around 8,200, I think, and I think this is around 9, or maybe just over. I can't really remember. I don't really do my research on that. It's not really the sort of things I'm doing with my reviews. So I think that they're both going to be really good bikes. I haven't ridden the other one yet, but it's bound to be a good bike. This is, I think it's about £900 more. And for what you get, I'm just going to pull in here, I think. I don't know these roads. For what you get for an extra £900, it's actually pretty damn good. So yeah, I'm just going to spin around it. It's pretty good. So I'm probably just going to park up here. That'll be it for the mt09 SP. Very good bike. Very nice. Very nice and fast. Comfortable. Good bike. Nice and refined. It's nice. I like it. So I'm going to head back to the shop and take out the standard. I like this one. I like it a lot. So this, once again, I'll probably do 2 shout outs, but same again, Brian Grace in High Wycombe. Pop down there, speak to Sam, mention that you saw the video on Deadbug Davey. If you can, that would be great. He's not going to let you ride more stuff because you saw it on mine, or take favouritism over you, but it's good because then he realises that more people are seeing my channel, and means I'll probably get more things to ride. So anyway, yeah, thanks for that. As usual, thanks for your time, and any of your comments and any of your dislikes I appreciate too. So I'll catch you soon on the next mt09 in a minute. I just thought, as I was riding around, just before I take this back and ride the normal one, I've just been riding this back in A mode. A mode is nuts, by the way. I thought I'd go into a bit more detail on the clock. You know, as usual, revs are across there. Got gear indicator, you know, speed and time, temperature, air temperature. Traction control is like the 2. You press that one to turn it up to 1. Sorry, turn it down. Press and hold it. That'll turn it off. Power modes is there is A, and just press that little button just there. Then it's like B, which is the soft one. Standard is standard. A is the animal, or whatever you want to call it. And I don't know what these do. I haven't gone through those. So that's temperature of the engine. That's the average miles, which is 50 at the moment. So that's pretty good. Trip 1, or trip 2, trip 1, ODO. Air temperature, and then back to the bike, and that's probably the same. Yeah, it's the same as the mt07. So whichever one you press, it goes, one takes it to the right and one takes it to the left, and then you press and hold either one and it will erase the one that you're on. So yeah, anyway, that's what I've done for that. So I'm going to take this back now and go and get the other. And as if by magic, I am now on the mt09 standard. As you can see, different dash. Might as well hit it while I'm on the bike. See, black background, white background, black lettering, all the same. Traction control up and down. Yeah, everything's exactly the same, different colour. Suspension on this one, I don't know if it's on the standard setup or what. The rear shock is pretty much the same, I think, as what they have on like the Tracers and stuff like that. It's all right. It's not great. Front ones, they are adjustable, but they're not as adjustable as the KYB and the Olins from the last one. The suspension's all right, actually. It is a bit. It's softer than the other one, so it's probably better as an all-round bike just to ride around as an everyday bike and go a little bit touring, it's probably better for that. Certainly won't be as good when you're out and about. Sorry, I'm just trying to move my mic. It's kind of on my mouth too much. Yeah, it's not going to be as good as if you were carving corners and stuff like that. It's just not going to be as good. It's still going to be fine, and you'll still be able to dial it in better than what it is here, but you obviously don't have the adjustability that you'll have on the SP version, and the SP version is definitely stiffer than this, but of course then you can dial in a little bit of softness and plushness into that a lot better. So anyway, let's get back here. But seriously though, look at this place. Look how beautiful this is. I was just exploring areas today, and I've ridden past like one of these side roads many times, and I stopped down here earlier on the other mt09, so I carried on a little bit further, and look at it. Look at that view. Like, yeah, it's just beautiful. The weather's beautiful. Got a bike. Can hear a bike in the background. Sounds like an Aprilia. Yeah, and I'm enjoying some fun on a bike. Anyway, back to the bike. It's a little bit different, as you can see, to the other one. Most of the differences are front shock, front forks, rear shock, clock. It's still got a quick shifter. Little differences like the levers are silver on this, the handlebars are silver. Yeah, and the seat is different. I'm not sure if I prefer this seat or the other seat. I'm not sure if there was a difference really. I think the other one might just have a different cover, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get back out on the bike. I'm going to probably just go down here, and then I'm going to turn around, come back, and then there's a petrol station down there. I'm just going to go and grab a drink before I take the kit back to Brian Gray's. Alright, so I'm heading my way back. I just thought I'd do a little video as I'm riding back on how the suspension handles this, because this is quite a bumpy road. I didn't bring the SP down here, but yeah. So at the moment doing 40 in 5th. It feels alright, it's not bad. You can tell it's a bumpy road. Probably tell by my voice I'm getting rattled around a little, but you know, who cares when you got scenery around you like that, you know. Beautiful little hidden road. Well, not hidden, but a little side road. Lovely little place. Anyway, I'll probably turn off because this is my little secret spot, so I'm going to cut you off now so you don't all come down here. Right, back on the road again. Just want to hit on a few points that I don't think I've hit on yet. Brakes wise, I believe this has got the same brakes, like this and the SP have the same brakes that the mt09 have, like old R1 brakes, but you know, they're definitely good enough. They feel slightly wooden on initial bite. It's not like they're bad, it's the initial feel. I'm sure if you bought some more race spec pads, it would be fine. But yeah, they feel fine. They slow well. There's nothing behind me that see they pull up well. They pull up fine. I won't worry about those. They'll stop you in a hurry. This one feels a bit weird because something wrong with the front lever. It's kind of tilted down. I was thinking how I was going to describe bikes, and it's quite hard to actually decide how you're going to do it. And I remember on the mt09 I described it as like a little happy little dog, you know, that wheezes itself when you walk in the door, and it's all yippy and yappy and it's around your ankles. This reminds me of a dog breed that I used to actually own, and that is an English Bull Terrier, and it is kind of a clown dog, so it's kind of like, you know, it's a fun bike. You could You can have a hell of a lot of fun on it, but it's also got like a very strong side to it. Like you wouldn't want it to bite you, and that's what this is kind of like. It's quite like, at the moment I'm riding it in A mode, like the most aggressive, and it is quite aggressive, probably too aggressive for the road, but I'm used to much more powerful bikes, so it's not too bad for me. The normal people could be a nightmare. But yeah, so this is basically like an English Bull Terrier Staffy, something like that. You know, it's a dog which likes a lot of fun, is a little bit schizo, but not the sort of thing that you'd want to mess around with if it lost its temper. So this, English Bull Terrier. So from now on, in my mind, these bikes are called Archie, who's my English Bull Terrier unfortunately passed away a few years ago. So now these are Archies. So as I'm taking this back now, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's the thing down there. I can't really do it on this bit, but Brian Gray's power biking in High Wycombe. I'd just like to say thanks to those. If you want to test ride one of these, I'm not sure what else they've got. They do have an mt10, but unfortunately it's off as a loan bike at the moment, so I can't ride that, which is a little bit annoying. So they have two mt09s. They have this one, they have the mt09 SP, they have an mt10, they have an mt01, and they have an they have two mt09s, they have an mt03, an mt07 and an mt10. Just go down there, speak to Sam. As I've said a few times now, please just... It doesn't get me anything, but if you go in there and said that you saw Deadbug Davy's review on it and you wanted to test ride it, then that actually helps me. It's not going to make them think, oh, you know, he saw Dave's video, so we'll let him ride the bike, or we'll let him ride this more, or whatever, because it's not that way. But it will actually help me when I go in there to actually progress my channel and ride more bikes from other shops as well as them. So please do that, and I'd appreciate that. So final thoughts on the bike. I really like them. I really like them both, actually. I was looking, and this one, the standard, is, I think it's £8,199. So that would pretty much make the SP version 9,000, just over 9,099, something like that. So I think it was £900. It's £800 or £900 more expensive. What would I go for? That's actually a really good question. Would I pay out the extra little bit more money? Yes, I would. I think for the £800 or £900 extra pound, I think you get a hell of a lot. You get the Öhlins rear shock, and I'm not sure what model Öhlins that is, because just because it says Öhlins on it doesn't mean it's the best shock they do. You know, they do many different shocks. You know, that's probably at least £500 for an Öhlins rear shock. And also you've got KYB suspension, which is probably not the same grade as the ones on like the MT10, but you know, it's a good grade suspension. So you know, just on suspension, you know, that's probably about £1,500 there. So the clocks, they're exactly the same, but it's just like the colours have been inverted, so yeah, that's a bit of a gimmick. It's not like something you would buy it for. You wouldn't look at it and think, you know, oh, that looks so much better in black background and white lettering, that you had to have it over the white background and the black lettering. It wouldn't, it's not enough. Paintwork, yeah, the paintwork's really nice actually, but then again, it's nice paintwork on the standard. So Yamaha have always done quite lush paintwork. Back in the old days, they were always known for having like nice lush deep colours of paint. So what would I buy? I would buy the SP. I would buy the SP. But that's kind of just the way I am. Like they are both basically exactly the same bikes. The riding position's the same. The ride on the SP is harder and a slightly more harsh than this, but you have to remember that that's on like the stock suspension settings. So if you took the like the preload off and you made it a bit softer, you could make it softer, you could make it roll over bumps better, but at the moment it absorbs them, but it's a bit more aggressive. It's a bit more of a track weapon. It's a bit more of a bike that you would take up into the hills up in Wales and fly around like the corners up the Black Mountains and stuff like that, and it would be really good at that. And so with this, don't get me wrong, but this is a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more compliant over normal English crap roads, because everyone knows at the moment our roads are in a hell of a state. I don't even know if you're going to hear me because it's quite windy today, but I'll put this down. So yeah, I think I would go for the other one. I would go for the SP, and I would try. Mind you, I'm quite used to like quite stiff suspension, so it doesn't really matter to me. But then again, this isn't exactly soft suspension. And I must admit the quick shifter is nice. The quick shifter's lovely. Be nice if it had an auto blipper down as well. Doesn't need it. No bike really needs a quick shifter. It does make it easier. So yeah. So as I'm taking it back, just one last shout out. If you fancy riding any of the MT range, I think there's an R1 on order. So they've got an MT03, an MT07, two different types of the MT09, MT10, the R1's coming in. They've got a Tracer 07, not sure what else they've got. But just head down there, speak to Sam, or speak to any of the guys there, and get out on a test ride on them. I don't think that you'll be like disappointed in one of these. I don't think you'd ride this and think, nah, wasn't what I thought, because them triple engines, they are really nice, and they are a real nice, like they've got everything. They've got a nice low end, they've got a nice bit of torque on them all through the rev range, they've got a nice high end, they've got a nice mid. You can sit in 5th at 30, you could probably sit in 6th. In fact, you could on the other one. I think I was in 5th or 6th, I can't remember now. I was in one of the two, and I dropped down to like 23, and the engine was fine. It didn't even struggle. So if you want to have a ride on them, head over to Brian Gray's, speak to Sam, and as I said, please put in a word for me. Please put in a word for Deadbug Davey. And it helps me on my channel, it helps me go in there and speak to them. You stay where you are, thank you. And it just means I've got more opportunities to go into other bike shops and say this is my channel and this is, you know, how many views I've got. I'm only really starting up at the moment, so but any help in that sort of front I really appreciate. So I've had a few subscribers since I've started, and I want to say thanks to the people that did that. Also thanks to the people that commented on my videos, whether they liked my videos or not. I still appreciate it, I always do. I like to be criticised constructively. So I like people to say to me, well, I'd prefer you to do that, I'd prefer you to take more time on that. Because a lot of people don't want to see the route that you take. A lot of people want you to walk around the bike and give more info on that. But I'm not really going to walk around the bike and just talk about its specs, because there's plenty of other people out there that do that. And if you want to know that, then use Google. And I'm not just going to be riding fast all the time, because everybody knows how fast modern day bikes are, and you don't need another person just riding fast. It's not going to make no difference. So I just want to give an honest review of a person who loves bikes, and I absolutely love bikes, all of them. And I just want to give like an honest opinion, because I've been riding for a long time and I've ridden a lot of bikes, and I think that's what people want, is kind of like a mid-ground. A lot of people don't care about how high the seat is, or the wheelbase, or size of the front and disc brakes, and you know, it's stupid. But actually, I'll just hit on a point there, just so you know. Seat height on this is actually quite low, so you won't be tiptoeing unless you're quite short. I'm 6 foot tall, about 16 stone, and I can pretty much flat foot both feet, not a problem. The bike is nice and light, so yeah. So basically, great bike, both of them are great bikes. If you get a chance, head to Brian Gray's, and if you're thinking about buying one, test ride them both. You know, see if you can find the difference, see which you prefer, because the differences are very minimal, apart from the fact you could obviously dial in the SP a lot more than you can on the normal one. But in stock suspension settings, there's not much in it, not much. So anyway, oh, it's gorgeous today. Anyway, hope everyone in England is enjoying this lovely weather. Hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you on the next one, which I'm not sure what that's going to be. I'm hoping the MT10 will be back sometime soon, and I'll be able to test ride the MT10. But we'll go from there, see what happens. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.